Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Now, what a nice victory that was for Liverpool after a very disappointing result over the weekend. We pretty much went back to basics and ended up scoring some high-flying goals towards the end of the game. To be fair, when the lineups were announced, the most pleasing thing for me was to see Bobby Firmino start the game. He's been in sensational form this season so far and continued his goal scoring form into this game. So let's talk about the key moments of the match. First half, it was Rangers who started off the game in great fashion. Their right-sided player, Sakala, has a shot on goal, which was saved by Alisson. Elliott goes on an amazing run, thinks a pass over the Rangers' defense towards Nunes, who has an opportunity to shoot, but tries to loft the ball towards Firmino, which was cleared by the defense. So good play from Rangers there. The goal came from Rangers. They broke the deadlock. It was a nice pass by Sholak to Arfield, and he smashes it into the bottom corner. It's their first goal of the campaign, so despite the defeat, I'm sure it was a good moment for the Rangers fans at the time. Tsimikas ended up getting our first goal, well, assisting our first goal, I should say, producing a lovely cross from the corner. And Firmino flicks the ball with his head into the back of the net. Smartly done. Nice move for Liverpool to equalise. Liverpool hit the counter-attack later on with Firmino on the run, but he just wasn't able to find Nunes with the through ball. Nunes was making quite a few good runs, but just wasn't his day today in terms of finding clear-cut chances, especially in the first half. Rangers tried their luck again before half time as Sakala attacks the right wing. He pretty much scuffs a low pass into the box, and goal scorer Arfield hits a shot and almost scores again, but it was blocked by Konate. Wasn't the most deliberate of blocks, but hey, we'll take how it is, to be fair. Second half was a completely different game. So first half, I would say Rangers were definitely in it. It was a very tightly contested game, but Liverpool just hit a new level in the second half. Gomez hits a pinpoint cross into the box, and Firmino hits the shot through the keeper's leg. Another great goal, a nice move there. Nice to see Gomez get the assist. I feel like he's improved his passing and crossing since he returned from injury last season. So he's definitely a great cover to have when Trent is not available. So another solid performance from him today. Another goal for Liverpool. Liverpool get their third. Great play by Carvalho, who started the game today. He threads the ball towards Firmino. He produces a skill, kind of like a backheel pass to Nunes, and he comfortably slots it into the bottom of the corner. So Nunes gets his goal. Very unselfish play from Firmino. Some strikers may have controlled that ball and tried to score the hat-trick straight away, but we all know Firmino is a very selfless player, so nice moment for Nunes to get on the score sheet there. And then we had a lot of substitutes that came on. So Salah was one of them. He comes on from the bench and plays up top, pretty much replacing Nunes like for like. He has a chance to score his first goal, but it was saved by McGregor's leg. So at that stage, you're thinking, maybe it's one of those days for Salah where he just can't get into that next game, get into the score sheet. But I think that miss probably just spurred him on even further, and he managed to get his first goal. Great control. The ball's lofted into the box, controls it, shimmies the defender, and didn't have a lot of room to hit a powerful shot. So he did a toe punt, and he went into the back of the net. World-class goal, in my opinion, in terms of the ability to control it with his weaker foot, go around the defender, and then add a nice clinical finish at the end as well. So best goal of the game for Salah, in my opinion. He gets his second goal straight after, attacks from the right-hand side, stops the ball, pretty much confuses everyone as it is in terms of what he was doing, and he just slots it into the back of the net. Fantastic goal. Kind of reminded me of that Ronaldinho goal versus Chelsea all those years ago, where he stops the ball, and then everyone's not sure what's going on, and then out of nowhere he just hits it into the back of the net. So had that little reminiscent of that moment there. And then the hat trick goal was a sublime shot from the right hand side, trademark Salah goal where he cuts in, curls it into the corner, post and in, beautiful goal. Now that hat trick was done in 6 minutes, and it's the fastest hat trick in Champions League history. So not bad for a player who's been struggling for goals this season. And then the seventh goal, Javier gets on the score sheet. Took a few minutes for that goal to be the seventh goal as VAR were reviewing it. Not sure why. There was no offside. I think they may have thought that Jota was blocking the goalkeeper's eye point at that time, but it was never offside. So for me, it tops off a fantastic performance for Elliot. Fully deserved to get his goal. It's his first goal in the Champions League, so a great moment for the youngster and for his family and friends. So yeah, great play by Liverpool there. That was 4 goals in 11 minutes. So they definitely took their attack to another level at that stage. Overall, for me, a great game. Well, fantastic in terms of the scoreline. Rangers did well in the first half and made it difficult for Liverpool. But second half, Liverpool flipped the switch, controlled the game, which is something we've not been doing this season, controlled it with ease, and we pretty much destroyed Rangers with some ruthless finishing at the end. So a fantastic performance from Liverpool, and hopefully we can take that into our next fixture, which is Man City later this weekend. A plus point for Liverpool after this victory is that we now have a better goal difference, which is +6 now. And with one more point in our next fixture, we'll be able to secure qualification for the next round. So, the league isn't looking, but at least we're competing in the Champions League. Napoli have qualified and they've topped the group after their 4-2 victory against Ajax. So congrats to them. Fully deserved. As for me, they've been out of this world so far in this competition. They've shown levels that I'm pretty sure the neutral wouldn't have expected to see from a Napoli team, considering they sold so many of their top players in the summer. So credit to their recruitment, credit to the management. They're showing some great appearances and they're doing really well so far this season and in the league as well, to be fair. So that's my match reaction of the game. So before I conclude, I'll do a player's rating and go into detail in terms of how I feel like Liverpool players did today. So Alisson, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I think he had a solid game. Didn't have to do much today, which was good. Always a good sign when your keeper has to do minimal work. But in every aspect of his game, he was very solid. Wasn't really troubled in sort of aerial challenges when there were set pieces. So solid performance from him. Gomez, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I think he was really good today. I like the fact that when the wingers were trying to roughen him up a little bit, he was barged him out the way. So he showed his strength at the right moment. General play was really good. Defensively, he was great. And even attacking, he got the assist as well. So for me, a much better performance from him, a more solid performance altogether. Konate, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. There were moments where he looks a bit rusty, which is natural due to the fact that he's had a long layoff. Showed a couple good moments here and there. Had a good block after Arfield nearly scored the second for Rangers. So for me, a good moment in the game there. So he's still trying to find that rhythm, that momentum. So he will get there eventually. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Van Dijk, I'll give him 7 out of 5, 7.5 out of 10, sorry. A better performance than the last game, in my opinion. There were moments where he was troubled, especially by Sakala on the right-hand side. I feel like he needs to be a bit more aggressive in those one-on-one duels. He's not showing his sort of aggression at times. So I feel like that's lacking in his play right now. But in terms of his aerial dominance, he's still showing that. Passing was decent as well. But yeah, I think a lot more to come from Van Dijk in terms of his true level. I feel like he's not quite there in my opinion, but he's getting better, which is a good sign. Simicast, I'll give him a 7. I think he had a decent game. The cross that he produced for the opening goal was fantastically done. Defensively, was out of position a couple of times from what I remember. Didn't win a lot of his dual battles there, but still had a decent game in my opinion. Fabinho, 7 out of 10, a better performance, I think, especially against Arsenal. I don't think he did well when he came on. Bit more sure with the ball and in possession, so that was a good sign. So yeah, I think looking back to his normal self, I feel like he's still got a few more gears to kind of get back to his ultimate best, but we'll see how it goes for him. Henderson, I've given a 7 as well. Had a decent game. Passing could have been better today. Did some wayward passes where put a lot of pressure on the players, but decent performance from him regardless. For me now, I'll give him a 9 out of 10. And for me, he was man of the match. 2 goals, an assist. But it's just the way he influenced the game. It was fantastic. So really, really impressed in terms of how he's playing so far. I'm praying that he's offered a new contract. I know a lot of Liverpool fans may disagree, but for me, he's a fantastic player to have in the squad. He can play as a number 9, as a number 10. And so far this season, he's been showing that he's more than capable of scoring the goals for us. I don't like the fact that a lot of fans or a lot of people are saying that last year he wasn't very good. He was 5th choice, wasn't scoring any goals. But you got to put it into context. He was injured quite a few times last year, which is probably the first time he's had a few injuries as a Liverpool player since he's joined the club. So it was quite a stop-start season for him. He wasn't fully fit most of the time, and he was struggling for fitness as well. So he's managed to put that behind him, and now he's showing us some rewards with some great performances. So I don't think that it's the end of Bobby. I feel like this number 10 role suits him so much, and he's more clinical. I feel like he plays with less pressure, playing alongside a number 9. So for me, need to sign a new contract, but I feel like the way FSG do business, I feel like once you've touched 30, that's when they start looking to release you from your contract and look at a younger prospect, which is fine. But for me, I don't think you can replace the experience that Bobby Firmino has. So yeah, that's me thinking out loud in terms of long term, but hopefully, he gets a new contract. I think is fully deserved. Elliot, for me, was 8 out of 10. Really, really good today. Played on the right, plays centrally at times as well. For me, showed great burst of speed, especially on the counter attacks. Passing range was really good today as well, and he managed to get his goal at the end. So definitely a great performance from him, much better performance from him. Nunez, I'll give him a 7. I think his movement was really good, but I feel like there were times where his control let him down and his passing as well. So that's why I give him a 7. But the finish was a lovely finish, curled it into the bottom corner. So hopefully in good confidence going into the next fixture. Fabio Carvalho, who starts the game, was fantastic for me. I think playing on the left-hand side, my concern was that could he handle the physicality of the opposition? And he seemed to do a decent job. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Felt there's a room for improvement in terms of his all-round play, but there's a serious talent there. So looking forward to see how he does in the upcoming games. Substitutes, Thiago again was 6. I don't think he had much of an impact coming on as a sub. Made a couple wayward tackles that could have led to possible yellow cards. So not what you want, especially at that time. We were flying with so many goals on the score sheet. So yeah, I think I would have expected better from him in terms of his performance. Robertson, I give him a 7. Produced some good passing. I think this competition of Simicast has definitely made sure that he ups the level and produces his best form, because we've got an understudy who's just as good on the pitch. So yeah, I think the competition will definitely help revive his form going forward. Salah, despite only playing, how was it, 20 minutes, I think. I've given him a 9. I've matched him with Firmino, but Firmino for his man of the match. Feels phenomenal. If you come off the bench and score a hat trick, you have to have top score in your overall rating. So I'll give him a 9. But just a food for thought about Mo Salah. So he came on and pretty much replaced Nunez up top, like for like, played more centrally. Is that his long-term role in the club? Because for me, he's wasted out wide in terms of how we're currently set up. He doesn't seem effective, I should say, sorry. Doesn't seem to have the confidence playing from the wider role. Today, I feel like even though he was playing up top, he was playing more like inside forward because his attacks were all from the edge of the box in the attacking third. So that's the kind of positional player I want to see from Salah. And he can do that playing as a right-sided attacker. So for me, that's the tactics that should be deployed for him. However, if Klopp prefers to have his wide players by the byline, then I think deploying Salah in a central position might be something to look into. Whether that's as a number 10 or as a number 9, I think he's more suited as a number 9 because he's a lethal finisher up top. So who knows? Watch this space. I think that's an option we would probably look into. And the way he scored that hat trick, I honestly don't think he broke a sweat. He just did it with so much ease. And yeah, I think he's got his goal scoring form back as well. So good time to do it. We've got an important game in the weekend. So yeah, great performance from Mo Salah coming off the bench. Jota, I'll give a 6.5. I think he had a couple moments where he had a good run on the left-hand side. For me, he should have scored before that Elliott goal. Should hit first time, but it took too many touches to get the finish. But I still feel like he needs to pick up a bit of form. It was interesting to hear from the commentary that he hasn't scored since April, which is a crazy stat. So he needs to get back into the groove and hit the back of the net. And I think once he does, I think we'll have another lethal attacker under our wings, which is what is needed right now. James Milner didn't really have much impact as he only came on for 5-10 minutes. I'll give him a 6 just to give us sort of an average ranking there, but he didn't have much of an impact coming on. So yeah, so that's my player rating. So thank you for tuning in, guys. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The next show that I'll be doing will be tomorrow, as I do a match preview of Liverpool versus Man City. I'll be joined by a special guest, and the show will be at 10:30 p.m. UK time. So please make sure to tune in. Other than that, take care, guys. Stay safe, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Good night.